Good morning, students. So, again, we are back with your commerce class. As you all know, yesterday we had started with a very new chapter, that is chapter number 9, organizing. So, today we are going to start with the next topic of organizing, that is steps in organizing process. So, before discussing steps in organizing process, let us go back to the objectives of organizing, why we are doing this chapter, right? Why we are So first is aids to management, facilitates growth and creativity, ensures optimum use of resources, establish relationship among individual groups, cluster job into units, coordinates, performs an analysis about the work, identifying the work, grouping of activities necessary for attaining objectives, and communication. So yesterday we had discussed that organizing is a process of deciding the ownership and structure of a company, who will do what, how it will be produced and delivered to the consumer. Moreover, organizing is a physical arrangement of people, equipment in a common environment, that is business. So let us start with the steps in organizing process. First is division of work, then grouping of activities, after that assigning of duties, right? Let me introduce you to the very first step of division of work with the help of a mobile manufacturing company. So let us start with identifying the various activities which come across a mobile manufacturing company when they go for the production of mobile phones. These days, we people are so much prone to our smartphones, our cell phones, and the production of such cell phones is on a large scale. Nokia is there, Blackberry, iPhone, Android phones. So the different phones are there which we have occupied to meet our daily needs. First activity which a mobile manufacturing company must do is purchase of raw material, then purchase of manufactured parts like screen button, battery, memory. After that, production, stocking of goods, like you have to maintain a inventory of your goods. Then is research, advertisement of mobile phones, sales of mobile phone. Don't you ever wonder how cell phones came to be? Why we are having a variety of cell phones? They provided us with a huge features. We are at homes and we are accessible to the world. So with the help of mobile phones, you can access and get connected to everyone at any place. So other than stocking, other than advertisement and sales, other functions of mobile manufacturing company are financial arrangements. They need funds. They have to maintain their accounts. They need correspondence. Here correspondence means advice. Arrangement of employees for the manufacturing. Okay, now manufacturing of mobile phones is a huge task. But let me give you an example why a work is divided. Suppose employees say that we can only produce 20 pins in a single day. Now, you know about Adam Smith, the very famous economist. So, were working, he found that employees have not divided their work. So, work should be divided first, then only the production will be increased. So, then he divide the work, drawing out the sheets, cutting the sheets, then making them malleable, giving them a proper shape, and he divided the drawing out of pins into 10 minute steps. Every employee knows what he has to do, and it was a remarkable consideration of Adam Smith that earlier it was 20 pins a day and then changed to 40,000, 8,000 pins per day just because of division of work. We also know that in cellular phones, the operating systems play a very important role. We cannot ignore this function. It's a very important work to be installed in your smartphones to run such phones. So, while doing it, what you see, like if we use iPhone, the operating software is iOS, Android operating software, BlackBerry softwares, Windows Mobile, Nokia operating software, so different softwares we people are using. And all the different activities, there is a huge list of activities to be performed, and all is to be performed by dividing the work. So the very first step in the process of organizing was grouping, division of work, and now next is grouping of activities, that is assigning a particular department to the activities of the same nature. Okay, let me give you an example. Like we were discussing about mobile manufacturing company. Suppose if finance department wants to cut down the cost and the marketing department wants to raise cost so as to have more benefits, and in that case a contrary criticism, or you can say a contradictory statements arise in both departments. So in that case, activities are grouped in between all departments so that there is less confusion. Okay, if we go for our previous example, that is mobile manufacturing company, our different departments are purchase department, production department, marketing department, and finance department. So the different activities like purchase of raw material, purchase of goods, purchase of parts all come under purchase department. Then production department. Production department is one who is designing that good. After designing, getting the all raw materials arranged and putting them into its place. Marketing department is one who has to do research, sales and advertisement. And finance department is one who has to arrange for financing, cutting down the cost, raising of funds and so on. So making groups and their heads is called departmentation, and in this case activities are grouped. Next is assigning of duties. In the process of organizing, next is assigning of duties. Now when work is decided, work is grouped, now you have to give the duty to perform that work to one, that is a superior, and then that superior designates that authority divide the work among the subordinates. Assigning of duties, that is flow from one person to another. Like top management gives order to managers, managers then to employers, employers then to workers, and then to foremen. Next is delegation of authority. The next very step is delegation of authority. When two or more than two persons work for the attainment of objectives, their relationship should be defined very clearly. That one should know who is the superior, who is the subordinate, and you have to follow a chain of command, that is who has to give order to whom, just because of getting the work done and accomplishment of the main goal. Okay, let me take an example of a bank. So in a bank, you generally see there are four departments: managing accounts, providing loans, foreign currency, and customer queries. So these are the four main activities performed in a bank. Other than these, there are different activities. I am just taking four activities here. So for this, you have to delegate authority, and you have made officers for this. Tellers, right? Loan officers, customer care representatives, that is CRO. So now in bank, authority is delegated to them and they will get their work done in a better way. So out of this, what we can conclude? Steps in organizing processes: division of work, grouping of activities, assigning of duties, and after that, so our next step is coordinating activities. So earlier we have done division of work, like you have seen in the example of mobile manufacturing company, that they have make a list of activities they have to perform. Then they group those activities according to the type of function: purchase department, marketing department, finance department. Then they assign the duty, that who is to perform which task. They make heads of the departments. Then they do what? They delegate authority to the essentials. They come to know what they have to do and in what way. Who is the superior? Who has to command? Who has to follow the orders? And how they will lead to the accomplishment of goals. And now our next is coordinating activities. This is the last step of organizing process. Now you have a list of activities. You know who has to perform which activities, but there should be a coordination of activities. Like suppose if I take example of same mobile manufacturing company, they have made a list. Purchase department know that it has to purchase raw material. Now when they coordinate it with marketing department first make a research, it makes a survey. Then they will decide from which supplier they will get the raw material. So there should be coordination between the activities, what has to be performed first, then second, and so on. So when we are following the steps in the organizing process, first thing, the process is defined on the basis of functions undertaken by an organization. That is, functions differ from one organization to another. In hospital, functions are different. In a school, functions are different. In a business, functions are different. It varies from one business to another business also. Like a mobile manufacturing company and a textile company, they have different command over product lines. Next is on the basis of types of products produced by an organization. Like what kind of product they are producing. Okay, let me take example of perishable and non-perishable goods, or durable or consumable goods. Okay, perishable goods like milk, curd, cheese, vegetables, fine. So what is that? If you are dealing with perishable goods, your work is allocated in such a way that your goods does not get spoiled and reach to the consumers on time. But if you are dealing with durable goods, your more focus will be on upgrading the technology. Next is on the basis of territory. Territory is zones. Like a business has having different zones all over a nation: south zone, east zone, west zone, north zone. In different directions, in different parts of the country they are operating. Next is on the basis by which customers like separate departments for personnel. On the basis by customers like separate department for personnel. Now what is this? Customers have been categorized on the basis what they have to deal with. Okay, let me take you to the example of a Samsung dealer complaint center. You all must have gone to a complaint center for the repair of your mobile phone if there is a problem in your phone. So what happened in that case? You go there, you get a coupon. They make your entry in their laptop so that you have entered their center. they diagnose their problems, and then they call you one by one for a different purpose. Like if they are, one person is there who is having a technology problem, other is there whose phone is not just restarting, another one is there whose phone is working very slow. So different problems are there, and in that way they will call the customers by categorizing them into parts. While following the process of organization, we should keep few things in mind which help the process to become successful. So what are the various factors which should be kept in mind while grouping of activities while deciding the process? First is coordination, then is economy, specialization, control, attention, needs, preferences and limitations, also the number of employees. First of all, there should be coordination between the top management and the lower levels of management so as to make the decisions effective. Then economy, that is low cost benefit analysis. After that, here is specialization, that those who are expertise and having skills in a particular way, they need to be given such authority in which they can give their best. Next is control. All the things which have to be performed need to be controlled first so that they must give better results. Next is attention. Now this is an individual job that they should be alert enough in performing an activity. Needs, preferences and limitations. It differs from one organization to another, one person to another. Determine the need of a person, determine what your employee wants, inculcate your activities towards the accomplishment of goals of your company, and taking the preferences, but it should not be on the cost of the employees. It should not create a criticism on the part of employees. So we have covered the process of organizing. So there are few terms which need to be discussed right now, because when you will go through the explanation, it needs your concern. So first one is departmentation. Okay, let me give you a quote. Structure followed strategy. Like in a hospital and a educational institution, there is a huge difference. In a hospital, there is no principal, but in an educational institution, there can be a principal, there can be a vice principal, there can be a staff of teachers, the class representatives, so different persons, coordinators, organizers. And in hospitals, coordinators, organizers, dean, the staff of nurses, wardman. So the persons are different, employees are different, a structure is different in both organizations. So this is just two cases, a hospital and a educational institution. But if you go for other manufacturing business houses, mobile phones, right, other laptops, then if you go for furniture making company, so for every person strategy is different and their departments are not different, they are same. Purchase department, sales department, marketing department, finance department, cost department. Only the thing is that activities they perform depends upon the type of business. Okay, next we have to do chain of command, that who has to give instruction to whom, who will command whom, that is chain of command. Here we have to cover two types of tasks, ongoing tasks, once for all tasks. Ongoing tasks like hiring employees, training them, storing goods, record making. Once for all tasks, that is done once. Once you do it, you need not to do it repetitively. Setting up a new plant or installing a machine. So, what we can conclude from today's lecture? Organizing is the second basic function of management. First was planning. Purpose of organizing is to arrange, direct, coordinate and control the activities of an enterprise. It involves establishment of sound organizational structure. Who will command whom? Purpose is to coordinate all the activities together. And very important word which comes across when you will learn or when you will go through the reading part, that is a job. So what is the new key term for a job? Each unit of a total work. How will you define it? Each particular unit of a total activity is called job. Now, if we have to define the process of organizing, how it is to be defined? The managerial function of organizing may be called process of organizing. What is process of organizing? A managerial function of organizing. Simple. Then why it is followed? When the objectives have been set and policies framed, the necessary infrastructure of organization has to be built up. So why is process followed? For setting the objectives, for framing of policies and to build up a infrastructure. So your concern, the concentration goes to activities and functions. These form the building blocks of the organization structure. So organization planning is the foundation upon which you make blocks, and that blocks are called organizing. Hope now it's clear what is organizing, what is its process, why is it important. So we will go for further organizational structures. Start planning for organizational structures, explore your ideas, right? And for more clarity of the concept, do refer the given link. Go through the pages, page number 220 and 221 for the better explanation and command over the topic. Also, you answer these questions. First is, arrange the following steps of organizing in proper sequence. As we have discussed all the organizing steps, now these steps are not arranged, you have to arrange them first. Giving responsibility, granting authority, grouping and subgrouping activities, establishing relationships, identification of activities. Arrange them in a serial order. What is departmentation? Define a job. So these are the questions which you have to answer. First of all, listen to the explanation, read your topic properly, go through the links and have a command over the topic. Only then assess yourself by answering the questions. Thank you.